In the chat rooms and social media. I do think that the SEC is kind of in a difficult period right now. They're in transition, right? There's an acting head. There's 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats. And so I believe they are having conversations. I don't know this for a fact, but I would expect they are having conversations behind closed doors. And the question is, what can they do? What should they do, right, given the circumstances? Certainly everything is happening in a pretty transparent way. This isn't a back alley suitcase and envelope transaction, but it's a chat room that's very public, or at least the reporting of it is very public. So the SEC does have the authority to suspend trading if it thinks that the market is being manipulated. The unfortunate thing about that is then it almost guarantees that people holding that GameStop stock would lose money because it will impact the market price. But that's something that the SEC could certainly do, and they could sort of suspend trading and sort things out and find out who's saying what, whether there's a correlation to trading, whether there is a concerted effort to manipulate the market, or whether this is just a stock that people are really excited about.
Do you think there has been market manipulation here?
I would say on its face, certainly if it was that obvious, the SEC would have acted. It brings up a really interesting question about who has the responsibility to monitor and regulate these platforms. You know, is it the sponsor of the platform, which, you know, certainly there has been some concerted effort by some of the trading entities to stop buy orders, but whether the SEC has the responsibility to go in and just monitor and regulate these conversations, and in what way, is not very clear under these circumstances. But it seems to me, on the reporting that I've read, that there are certainly very valid questions about market manipulation. And it's probably a mix of
the other question,
participants, right?
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, it doesn't what make this harder that it's all happening on social media? I mean, how do you define market manipulation when you're talking about the internet and social media and blogs?
Well, if people actually are saying, let's all buy 1,000 shares now to drive up the price, I would say that sounds like market manipulation to me. Whether they're really doing it, who's the person that's saying it, what's their interest in raising that stock price, and, you know, what's the actual impact. The problem is, if the regulators do nothing and this happens, it really puts a lot of question about the integrity of the market. Right. And it really kind of, everybody's scratching their heads over this. What should happen? What is the right thing to do to control this or stop this? Not unlike what we saw on January 6th at the Capitol. Right. If you don't have the police in there at the right time, things go a little crazy. And that's kind of feels like what's happening with this. Much different, much lesser degree. It's financial harm, not personal bodily harm. But certainly that's the same kind of, you know, platform created frenzy that people are operating under. And these are very trying times. So I think people aren't really in their right minds.
They're also very transitional.
Right? Yes.
Yeah, we don't even have a full SEC chair.
No, exactly. And this is something that requires a full policy solution, right? The same way that some of the social media platforms took down the former president's Twitter account, and Facebook is having an external advisory board review the content. You know, it could be something that requires a broader solution and approach and a real policy mandate. And with no chairman, you know, real chairman confirmed by the Senate and appointed by the current president, it's kind of hard for the existing commissioners to make that leap under these circumstances, and no enforcement